Now, there's absolutely no doubt about it that Marvel Studios is in turmoil right now. We already know that there's a lot of things happening with their existing projects, with the 2025 slate of Marvel projects, whether it be movies or TV shows, doesn't matter. Both, of course, Bob Iger and Kevin Feige are in full panic mode and are going into damage control over the current slate of Marvel Studios. Now, we already know that there's a lot of cancellations that have, of course, been pretty much pushed through by Bob Iger, some of which involved Ant-Man 4, Captain Marvel 3, just for starters, and among others that are getting axed in a desperate move to essentially save the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So, one thing about Bob Iger right now is that we already know that there is a lot of drama happening, not just with Star Wars and Disney in general, but also with Marvel, and not in the live-action sense, but now in the animated side of things. We already know that the firing of showrunner and creator of X-Men 97, Beau Demayo, is creating even more drama now behind the scenes for all the recreations from Marvel Entertainment Group. You guys may recall that X-Men 97 is basically a follow-up to the X-Men animated series from the 1990s. There's, among other animated series in the works, like Spider-Man, the animated series getting a sequel, as well as Fantastic Four. We'll talk more about that later. However, this is where things begin to get quite ugly when it comes to the whole situation involving Disney, Bob Iger, Beau Demayo, and X-Men 97 Season 2 for 2026. Now, with X-Men 97 already involved with major issues related to the firing of Beau Demayo after Disney fired him due to both creative differences and personal reasons that Demayo caused himself, one major development has much to do with how Demayo is now already beginning to take legal action against Disney, including those like Bob Iger, the executives, and the board of directors making the call to fire Demayo that has been creating such loud drama behind the scenes that it has been rattling throughout all divisions of the Walt Disney Company. Now, one significant update to the entire situation is that Demayo is gearing up to sue Disney based on how they fired him due to creative differences of pushing woke agendas that were too strong even for Disney's taste to handle. This involved the concepts of both gender and race swapping famous X-Men characters without, and I say without, the use of the multiverse. That was Demayo's push. A similar treatment to what was done in the Velma series on HBO Max is essentially what Beau Demayo was aiming for, and Disney believed that this would be too risky since there was no way to justify why they were swapping characters of race and or gender. Apart from that, Demayo is also preparing to sue Disney since he believed that Disney fired him for his own personal beliefs and actions that he is claiming behind the scenes was blown out of proportion, and some of which were completely false in his point of view. Already, Demayo is claiming that Bob Iger fired him under false claims and actions he didn't get involved in. However, Disney reportedly claims they have full evidence of what Beau Demayo did. As of now, Disney is keeping his specific actions under wraps that are set to be discussed further with more employees related to Marvel Studios and those in the corporate ladder over at Disney that will allow us to learn more aspects further in time. However, the legal warnings that are already being pushed by Beau Demayo is sending Disney into a defense mode right now, where Bob Iger and the board are trying to figure out how to present their side of the story to the general public about what happened to Beau Demayo and what he really did with his own personal life. This is said to have something to do with his online presence. However, the specifics aren't completely known at this time. Even Kevin Feige of Marvel Studios is in panic mode over the whole Beau Demayo situation, since this is already wreaking havoc on the already completed work for X-Men 97 Season 2. However, the firing of Demayo wasn't just limited to his personal life, but also his push for extreme agendas that Disney felt would only drive fans away completely. Now, though gender swapping and race swapping will be present in X-Men 97 Season 2, Bob Iger and Kevin Feige wanted to justify how this would actually be done and how this would actually come about by focusing on different universes, while DeMayo wanted to exclude multiple universes and that angle of the Marvel Universe to make the swaps more legitimate. The legal warnings coming from DeMayo and his push to battle Disney is seemingly yet another woke-on-woke scenario that has happened before in the past from the Walt Disney Company, since Bob Iger only wanted his agenda to progressively spill into X-Men 97 rather than rapidly. So guys, let me stop here quick for one moment before I move on. DeMayo, by any means, I am not defending the guy. I mean, I think that what he was doing with X-Men 97 Season 2 was disgusting and just outright horrible to the source material, to the fan base, and already, this is the same guy, by the way, who made Morph non-binary in X-Men 97 Season 1, which, by the way, is set to debut on March 20th, just 5 days from now. And again, non-binary never existed in the 90s. Nobody even said that by word, alright? Nobody ever mentioned that, so why even include that in the story? Sure, some people may, you know, kind of sway it off as nothing to get too bent out of shape over, but we gotta remember that this is exactly what they're trying to do. This is what Beau Demayo was trying to do. To really kind of just use X-Men 97 Season 1 as a teaser for his agenda, and then basically, as he went throughout the seasons, it would be another bait-and-switch scenario for the series. Kind of really just using nostalgia to push their overall agenda. Something that's not new to Disney. I mean, they've done this many times before. So, DeMayo was also promised a multi-contract deal that would include his involvement with sequels to Spider-Man the Animated Series, and even the Fantastic Four animated series from the 1990s that Disney is about to announce with follow-ups that will be, of course, included on Disney Plus in the coming years. So basically, we talked about this too, guys, is that Disney wants to essentially reset the Marvel Universe in the animated realm of things to further push their agenda. And I kind of find it quite strange that Disney even felt that DeMayo was too woke for their overall taste when it comes to X-Men 97 Season 2. Again, I said this multiple times before, they were not fond of the fact that DeMayo wanted to swap race and genders of famous X-Men characters without the use of the multiverse, because Disney's overall push is that if they have the multiverse, they can justify why they're doing it, and they can write it off as it not being a swap in any way, shape, or form. But when you're focusing on those versions of the characters more over the classic ones, that's when it becomes a problem, and that's what Disney was already aiming to do with X-Men 97 Season 2. So look, there's a lot of drama happening here with the whole DeMayo situation. I'm not shocked that legal warnings are being pushed. He's like the upteenth person to do this in the past 3 years, and whether or not he will succeed, I think is pretty much clear at this point. But when you look at stuff like this, already Bob Iger is getting himself involved in more drama, and it just goes to show you the fact that they hire the wrong people. They did this to themselves. Bob Iger, you know, has no one to blame but himself for hiring DeMayo in the first place, let's be real. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.